Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress Video. I'm gonna do a little flip through of the Goddesses Knowledge cards that has art by Susan Sudden Belay today, and also I've got this amethyst, hypersthene, and lithium quartz in this little candle burning that has a bunch of lavender flowers in it, dried lavender flowers. I'm sending a message today I'm doing batch recordings, and I'm sending a message today to anyone that needs it. I'm doing a spell right now for a specific candle magic for a specific person in my life. However, I also felt called to put this candle to kind of make this spell a little bit more wide, to spread it out a little further than just my little world. So this is a message of protection, healing, and recovery for anyone that needs that right now. So just to get that started, so this is the box. Very pretty, like 90s vibes on this box. I love it. But I don't keep them in the box. I keep them in this beautiful tarot bag from Tamed Wild Apothecary that has the goddess Selene. So not only is she on the bag, but she's also in the deck. So let's get into it. I've got them in alphabetical order because I was writing down, I made a goddess grimoire last night. So I made like a table of contents and put all of my goddesses from all my different decks in alphabetical order, because I'm doing a lot of goddess studies lately, which has led me to buying 3 different goddess oracle decks, 2 of which I am keeping and I'm going to show you guys. So let's get into it. So I'll go ahead and I'll just show you the back of the card just so you can see the name of the goddess, and then I'll flip it over so you can see the picture. So Amphitrite. And these are largely, okay. These are largely, the artist actually did depict these goddesses for the most part. Most of this deck, I believe, is not like after the fact somebody going, this could kind of maybe be Aphrodite. For the most part, I think the artist intended to depict these particular goddesses in most of these images. I wish it had pronunciations on here, that's all. Arian Rod? I don't know which way you necessarily hold this particular image. Oh, these images are so powerful though. Artemis? Athena. Bast. I love her art so much. I'm getting so much out of these cards. Changing Woman. The only like downside of this deck for me personally is it doesn't include any Indian goddesses. It's got, you know, lots of other awesome goddesses, some I've never even heard of. Look at this Diana. Oh. This one's got a pretty good representation of Native American goddess vibes. And Celtic. Lots of Celtic going on in this deck. So it's beautiful and I'm so happy with it, but it couldn't be my only goddess deck because it doesn't have any Indian goddesses, and I am pretty into the Indian goddesses. It's Eve. I will say I got these from, you can kind of see it, I got these from Amazon, and do you see in the corner they were like stuck together And when I tried to pull them apart pretty gently, but it ripped the corner of a lot of the cards. And you can see, look at that. So that was, it is a problem. I probably, if I had known what was happening, because I was just pulling them apart thinking that they were kind of stuck, and then I realized that they were ripping after the fact. But if you know that going in, you might be able to get them separated without ripping them. I'm not sure. So that's just something to be aware of. That didn't happen with my animal spirit knowledge deck from the same publisher, but it did happen with this one. How cool is that? Fortuna. She's a card slinger. Hathor. She's one of my important goddesses. Hel is, I didn't think I cared about Norse mythology, but Hel is, not only because of this card, but just in general, she is calling to me lately. For sure. I love the text here too. I really like the Michael Babcock's texts. His like history of the goddesses and stuff on the back of these cards is really kind of cool most of the time. I like this peacock energy because there are eyes. That is cool. Now, like every time I see a peacock feather, I'm gonna think about eyes being in the peacocks. In the pattern, I guess. High Priestess. Very much a High Priestess card because she's got the scroll and the moon and the pillars. How cool is that? I'm glad they included that. This is not a specific goddess. I'm glad they didn't like try to call this a specific goddess, because this is definitely meant to be based on the High Priestess card. Oh, her art is just so beautiful. Anana, Queen of Heaven. She's been popping up a lot for me lately. This is the only god depicted in the deck. Ishtar. An image that's infinitely better for Ishtar than the one that's in the Goddess Guidance deck by Doreen Virtue. But that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. And she really does look like, I think she's supposed to be an Eskimo goddess? Mayan. Who was I thinking of that was Eskimo? Somebody else, but she actually does have sort of a Mayan quality about her, don't you think? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a white girl. I don't really know what I'm talking about with most things. Suppose Jesus is kind of in this card. Maybe. Is that supposed to be Jesus? So it really mirrors that Isis and Osiris image. Medusa is depicted in her Pegasus form here. Minerva. I don't know anything about Minerva. I haven't pulled this card yet. I've only had this deck for a couple of weeks now. she's one of my original goddesses, because I strongly connected to Tori Amos' Boys for Pele album when it came out back in 1996, and that was my first knowledge of Pele, the volcano goddess. And I love this imagery. I named a cat after that goddess. She's no longer with us, but I love it when I pull that card. I'm very happy that Persephone is in this deck. Persephone is not in any of the other goddess decks that I have acquired recently. Still trying to wrap my head around Psyche, just in general. I think I need to, right now at least, think of her more like the concept of your own psyche. I put Kuan Yin, even though I alphabetized the cards, I put her in as if she was a Q, because that's the way I spell Kuan Yin. I think both are correct. This is such a powerful Kuan Yin card. I think this might be the only or one of the only Asian goddesses depicted in this deck, but I'm so glad she's there, even if we only get one. Yannon. Sedna. Oh my god, this card is fucking gorgeous. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh, I could stare at it for hours. Here's Selene, Moon Goddess. Hey, it's another one of those like this. There's like a whole series of these like goddesses protecting some little boy that needs protection. The Sphinx. Spider Woman. Venus. Never heard of this Greek goddess until this deck. And I haven't pulled her yet, so don't know much about her, but I do love that image. Thetis, same thing. Don't know anything about her. The cards that have the borders like this are a little off-putting to me. Like, I would have zoomed in, you know? Not even gonna try to pronounce that. I got no clue. I kind of want to try, but I'm not going to. Beautiful. Triple goddess. Really is triple goddess too. You see the younger one on the left and the older one on the right. I like that. Strong vibes there for sure. Valkyrie. This is probably my favorite card in this deck. I just love that so much. I'd love to have like a really great big high quality print of that image. This is my card of the day today. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to put it back on my altar. We got White Shell Woman. So there you go. So now, I was going to just like pull a card randomly, but I think I'm just going to, I want to keep them in order for now, my own personal reasons. I think I'm just going to read you the text on the back of the Venus card, just simply because it's my card of the day, so maybe it's your card of the day too, whatever day you see this, if this resonates. Venus is the Roman goddess of grace and love, called Aphrodite by the Greeks. She evolved from an early Italian nature goddess, a bringer of spring blooms and vines, a goddess of growth and the beauty of nature. The goddess of desire, Venus was the irresistible personification of both physical and spiritual love. She gave her name to the second planet of dawn and dusk, as did her sister goddesses Inanna, Sumeria, and Ishtar, Babylonia. The story of Venus's birth tells how she arose naked from the sea, the source of all life, primordial creation, and a symbol of both the collective unconscious and eternity. It is a wonderful image for the emergence of a young woman into her full femininity. Venus is a striking affirmation of the love of beauty and the pleasure of the senses. Risen from the sea, she is a guide through both the stormy and calm waters of our physical desires and emotions. So there she is, Venus, part of the Goddesses Knowledge deck with art by Susan Seddon-Belay, Oracle deck. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.